Okay, Transformer fans, I'm about to blow your mind. 2023 is about to be the year of the monkey. Not only are we gonna get big monkey boy Optimus Primal on the big screen, we're also gonna get Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong monkey on the big screen, and King Kong himself, the original monkey. It's no way home, y'all. I got 3 words to say.
Let them come.
The Transformers Rise of the Beast trailer has finally landed online, something a lot of Transformers fans have been looking forward to, because it's finally a mainline Transformers movie that has the ensemble cast, but also because it's taking inspiration from the Beast Wars cartoon series of the 90s, introducing a lot of the Maximals on the big screen, and here we got a good look at them. So what I'm going to be doing here for you guys is giving you my trailer breakdown, pointing out some Easter eggs you might have missed, naming all the Autobots, Maximals, and terrorcons for you, as well as telling you where this fits in the timeline of Transformer movies, because although it's the 7th Transformer film, it's also a prequel, a sequel, and a reboot all in one. But I want to hear from you guys. What did you think of this trailer? Did it get you hyped up to see another Transformers story? Which robot here got you the most excited? Anything and everything, leave them down below. But okay, starting things off here, I think it's best to let you know where this falls in the timeline of the Transformer films. This is technically going to be a sequel to the solo Bumblebee movie that starred Haley Steinfeld. That took place in the 80s, and this film here will be taking place in the 90s, the same era where the Beast Wars cartoon series was airing on TV. But at the same time, this movie is also a prequel to all the other Michael Bay Transformers movies, even the very first one from 2007. The reboot part of this movie could kick in if they're taking inspiration from the cartoon series and are involving time travel. Because in the two Beast Wars cartoon series that ran from 1996 to 2001, the story followed Cybertron 300 years into the future, where the descendants of the Autobots and Decepticons, that is, the Maximals and the Predacons, were just barely starting to go to war with one another when they time traveled back to prehistoric Earth, and when landing on our Earth, they scanned the area and then just changed their bodies to fit the wildlife that was there. The Maximals, the good guys here, usually turned into mammals or birds, while the Predacons, the bad guys here, usually turned into reptiles, insects, or arachnids. Now, for this specific movie, it looks like the Predacons are not going to have an involvement. Instead, they're going to swap them out for the terrorcons. I'll explain that in a bit. But if they stay faithful to that origin for the Maximals here and have this be a descendant of Optimus Prime, then that means here Optimus Primal is from a different time period where he's going back to tell Optimus Prime that they're in danger. And kind of similar to X-Men Days of Future Past, where they had a similar time travel-like storyline here that involved the future and past X-Men, it kind of rebooted their timeline. And it feels like they could do sort of the same thing here. Now, going exactly bit by bit into the trailer, I wonder if because we're starting off in this jungle-like landscape, if the Maximals will even be from prehistoric Earth, or they just landed on a part of Earth that only had wildlife and that's what they mimic. I gotta say also, I'm loving the design of Optimus Primal here. He's going to be voiced by Ron Perlman. You can see the emblem of the Maximals on his chest. The addition of hair and ape skin I think is also a nice touch, because in the future, as they become advanced, just like with humans in evolution, robots eventually get to a point where they're both machine and organic material. Also loving that they kept the sort of G1 look for Optimus Prime here. He not only sounds amazing,
Let them come.
but is looking really good too. Here in between them though, we do have our two main human characters that we'll be following in this movie. Noah, played by Anthony Ramos, and Elena, played by Dominic Fishback. Honestly, have no idea how they'll be involved in the story. I would have loved me Haley Steinfeld to come back and be part of this journey, but maybe she's in college or has a family now. Hopefully she makes a cameo in this movie. We get some shots here of Brooklyn, New York, where we get a shot of Optimus in his alter form and Bumblebee transforming out, while Noah here, one of our main characters, gets inside Mirage. Now, I know this might not make some people happy, but Mirage is going to be voiced by Pete Davidson, so you can pretty much bet he's going to end up being the comedic relief of the movie. And I kind of like how they're sort of implementing things from the old cartoons here that Mirage was known for. In the cartoons, Mirage was one of the Autobots that was able to be turned invisible, and here he's kind of doing a similar thing with a cloaking ability and then having some of those holograms disappear. So who knows if he gets his full invisibility or it's just a cloaking ability that they gave him for this movie. From there, we're given a shot of Bumblebee driving alongside Cheetor. It really gives you a good size comparison of the Autobots and the Maximals. I think the design of Cheetor looks looks really good, especially you can see some of the hair on the back of him. From there, we're given a shot of Airazor using a fire beam. I wish we could have gotten a better shot of Airazor here, but so far, really loving the designs here. Speaking of Maximals, we also get a glimpse at Rhinox here. In the animated series, this was sort of like the science officer, the engineer of the group, so he's supposed to be the smart one, but he's also got the bronze and strength to put in a real fight. From there, we're given a shot of one of the terrorcons in this movie that is being named Battle Trap. He's currently shooting a missile to RC, an Autobot that is making their third live action appearance, if you want to count Revenge of the Fallen, although that wasn't really much of a character. Her face is pretty much looking the same as she did in the Bumblebee cameo at the beginning of the movie with the pink coloring, which is how she's usually portrayed, but looks here like she's going to keep the Ducati red motorbike color. She'll also be voiced by YouTube sensation Liza Koshy. As a YouTuber myself, kind of awesome to see her get up there. Good for you, Liza. She's also hanging on here to another Autobot by the name of Wheeljack. Funny enough, this Transformer does show up in the Michael Bay movies in the third film, Dark of the Moon, but is kind of portrayed as this old and wise engineer Transformer that ends up dying. And that actually wasn't his only live action appearance. Wheeljack also cameoed at the beginning of Bumblebee, looking a lot more traditional with his usual green, red, and white colors, but here he'll just end up being this Volkswagen. Just like with the X-Men timeline, the Transformers timeline is all over the place, and every new movie has their own new continuity. This finally here brings us to the villain of the movie, Scourge, that'll be voiced by Peter Dinklage, and his alter mode is also a semi-truck. When I first saw these images, I thought they were going to take inspiration from Transformers Robot in Disguise. In that animated series, Scourge is sort of like this clone of Optimus Prime with darker colors, but then looking at his robot form here, he doesn't really look much like Optimus Prime, so it doesn't look like he'll be the evil clone like in the animated series. Now, the other common origin of Scourge is that he was created by Unicron. That's a Transformer villain I know people have been dying to see, and was even teased in the last mainstream Transformers movie, The Last Night, and I feel like this whole new reboot of the Transformers is going to try to gradually build up to it, almost like a Thanos villain, and Scourge here might very well have that origin where he's sent by Unicron to prepare Earth for his invasion. This shot here where we see meteors landing in New York, these most likely are the villains, as we're only getting 3 main terrorcons. That's Scourge, Battle Trap, who we do get to see here in this war, and Nightbird, who we don't really get a great glimpse of, but I'm pretty sure this is her flying off above screen. She's a Transformer I'm looking forward to seeing, because not only is she supposed to be a ninja, she carries around nunchucks. So then if there are only 3 main bad guys here, you're wondering, then how is this war going to happen? Because it looks like there's a lot more than just 3 bad guys facing off against the Autobots and the Maximals. And here's why I believe they chose the Terrorcons instead of the Predacons that would have been the bad guys for the Maximals. And that is because the Terrorcons, which is the symbol we see here at the end of the Transformers trailer, are sort of like zombie Transformers. There's many different versions in Transformer lore, but I think the most common one they're going to take inspiration from here is dead Transformers that are brought back to life to sort of be mindless zombies that attack for their leader. And that's how we'll end up getting this big war at the end of the movie. It's just a bunch of mindless robot zombies along with the big 3 bad guys. If I had to guess at all what this big machine is in the background, it could be the common plot of them trying to terraform the Earth so it could be the next Cybertron. But like I said, this could be a stepping stone to Unicron down the line. In some iterations, Earth has been known to be Unicron itself, just kind of dormant. So maybe this machine is trying to activate Unicron. Whatever the case may be, I still can't wait to see this scene go down. Just seeing the Autobots and Maximals next to each other, fighting off a couple of bad guys. I would have liked Optimus Primal to have a little bit more of his traditional colors when he transforms, but I think he still ends up looking pretty cool. If this is successful, I can pretty much bet you that the sequel will involve the Predacons, and that'll just be a whole new interesting look of bad guys for them to face off with, because then you have a villain that just goes by the name Megatron, but is this giant purple T-Rex, along with like a scorpion one, a wasp one, a spider one. So many cool things they could do, so I don't blame them for not going with the Predacons right away. The Terrorcons are good enough. I'm interested to see where this goes and how all this connects and what they're building up to. It has to be Unicron. That's what the fans have just been waiting for. But I throw it off to you Transformers fans. How do you feel about this trailer? Are you excited? Are there any things you guys caught that I might have missed? Anything and everything, be sure to leave me your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.